think this is the first one where we've not been mid-chat as it starts to record.
No.
We actually
Hello.
have...
Hello, everyone.
Hi!
We're here now.
We had tech issues. It was
Yeah, we had our
fun.
first really big tech issue.
Yeah,
Should we tell them?
yeah.
It's the re-record. We've had to re-record an episode for the first time. So you missed some of the stuff, and you're getting the stuff again.
A little bit late.
We think it'll be even better.
We hope that it'll be even better, but damn, you missed a good chat.
Yeah. Do you remember when like computers were less common and we're all learning how to use them? And I specifically remember like writing papers and then losing that paper in the hard drive.
Oh man,
Like
yes.
deleting instead of saving.
It would just disappear, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And that was like a real concern
Yeah.
if you didn't save it properly. And also like now we have autosave functions. So like
Yep.
if something doesn't go quite right, it'll be like, oh, did you mean to save this last version? But like that was not a thing.
That wasn't a thing. I remember when Apple brought out the thing where you could do a timeline and essentially you could see everything that you looked at in the last like week, month. I can't remember how many, but you could almost scroll through it. So if you forgot to save, it still had it. It was kind of like the first version of autosave.
Yeah.
We're
I
making
wonder,
ourselves sound old.
it makes me think about like, obviously, like, there's so many times in our life that we like redo stuff, improve, do again, make again. Like, I wonder what it would look like if we could like filter back through those autosaves. Like,
In life.
yeah, like it'd be like, oh, what was I like? What was the draft? I know we can look back at journals, we can like reflect back on our phone camera, but like, imagine if you could literally like just like zip back. That'd be quite cool.
Yeah. Oh God, first drafts.
Terrifying.
Yeah. I hate to think about all the essays that I've written over the years, all the study and everything like that. Just be
It'd be
no
so intense.
hard pass. I remember you having a real resistance to first drafts at school. Like I was like, this is a waste of time.
Yes,
Even
I
one
felt like
done
it
well.
was by being like your first draft won't be good enough. I was like, you don't appreciate my creative expression the first time around.
Off the cuff.
What do you
And
mean?
I'm great at all times. Let's not miss out on my creative genius.
Yeah, and I was like, what do you mean? Like, obviously, improvements should always be made. I could like get that, but I'm like, you want me to just redo it? Like, I think I saw like writing too art, like too much like art, not information.
Yeah. I think just the fact that it was pen and paper, that's a lot of work. You can't then just copy paste and reuse a paragraph.
I was writing some promo cards the other day, and I was like, my hand hurts. Like, I'm out of shape.
Physically hand out of shape. How often do you write with a pen now?
At least once a week when I'm in your meetings.
Cool.
Not very much though.
No.
But I find that like a lot of my notes I'll like jot down. So I usually have a notebook nearby. But
Yeah.
no, I'm not like writing my captions for social media on paper first.
No. Hell no. How have we got here? Like, they definitely got a first draft episode would have been better.
Oops.
Whoops. So, I guess we should share about the fact that we had in real life feedback at the yoga festival.
Yeah, we did. This is so exciting.
It was so fun. I'm
felt famous.
wandering around the meadow, looking a bit lost as usual, as I do on festival day, and bumped into some peeps. One of whom I knew, one of whom I didn't, and I met at festival day and chatted to her a couple of times in the end. As I bump into them, they were saying how they'd been listening to this podcast, and it happened to be that Dianna was walking past at the same time, so she clocked them say about the moon made me do it. We got excited. I didn't
Yeah.
even know it was there.
I made that face.
Anyway, we then proceeded to chat about the podcast, and as in me and these two festival goers and podcast listeners, and they gave us some great feedback that we need to break things down more because we're talking like everyone knows what the houses are, what a birth chart is, how to break it down, and then what the new moon means, what the full moon means, and all of the different signs and rising and, sun sign,
Yeah.
moon sign, all that stuff. And that's fair enough. I think Deanna and I both consider ourselves like a little above entry level.
Yeah, but not much. Like I think because we're like not I think we're perfectly positioned as deeply interested non-experts. It
Yeah.
feels sometimes like a little impostery to like define. So it's really important to know that there's lots of different resources for astrology out there. We're going to give you our best information possible. But like do your research. Like maybe towards the end of the episode we'll do app and recommendations again and things to look this up because it's like really nice to just kind of know for yourself what you've got going on. But also, the beauty of astrology is that any of the signs can mean something to you. So hopefully, there's good evergreen, just thoughtful content regardless. But this is all around an eclipse, which is a whole nother word to play with.
Throw in there. Yes.
Yeah.
How was your
New.
energy around eclipse season?
I I feel like I've had some crazy eclipse seasons in the past. I did eclipse seasons previously where like I've moved countries, breakups have happened, just like personal changes happened, and people will say in general that eclipses bring a lot of change very quickly, so it's a good time to manifest, but not necessarily like dream wild and big, though maybe those changes will happen, but also to just like be the best version of yourself so those changes happen in alignment. That's at
Love.
least how I read that.
Yeah. But just before the eclipse, we had 8th of the 8th, so 8th of August, which was Lionsgate as well, which is a very strong manifesting energy. So we had that,
Yeah.
followed very quickly by the full eclipse, followed by, and the new moon, all on the same day, obviously.
So intense. I feel like I've been more anxious
Yeah.
than normal, but I find that any change feels intense to me, even really good change. That makes a lot of sense. And I feel like my vibe around this time is to just be as grounded and behave like myself as possible. Like stick to my guns, behave rationally, think before I speak, but stick up for myself. Like be you. Don't let the anxiety take over and make you someone else that you're not, but also listen to it, be gentle with it, be kind. Because I do feel like that stirring energy is intense.
Yeah, it can be.
You're more ritually focused though. You did something cool
Oh,
around
I
this
went
time, didn't
and
you?
watched the eclipse,
So fun.
but, or did you mean for Lionsgate?
Both.
For Lionsgate, I went up to the coast with a friend because another yoga teacher, local yoga teacher who I really admire, she was holding a Lionsgate event. And she did a little bit of movement. We did about half an hour yoga class, and she timed it so we sat down to manifest in circle. She created an altar, she got clipboards, she got booklets, the whole stuff. But she focused it so we'd be sitting down to start the manifestation booklet at 8 p.m. So it was like 8 p.m. on the 8th of the 8th, and I was like, yes, girl. So that was really nice. And then yeah, she'd done this whole booklet. It was great, and it was she bought scissors and had created a bit of the booklet where you could write down what you wanted to let go of, snip it out, and burn it. And we had a
That's so
fire.
magic.
It was safe, guys. I know Dunwich was on fire, but yeah, we were very safe.
Yeah.
Very close to the sea,
Yeah, literally you were on the beach. So
literally. Best place possible.
yeah,
But
that's
yeah,
so
so it was
magical.
just, yeah, it was really lovely and just being on the beach, loads of, really wonderful people. And it was nice to again sit down and just write down sort of, okay, let's realign. Where do I want to take the next few months? What do I want from this time next year? And just get really clear. What baggage did I want to let go of? What reoccurring thoughts? What bullshit? Just let that stuff go. It was really nice.
Can you list one of those addings or let goings that feel
Let going, let going? Is that we'll go
let
with it.
goings? Is it like outgoings but let goings?
My let goings were one of them was other people's perceptions of me.
Nice.
So, yeah, that was one of them. I don't remember the others because I let them go.
You know, let them go, baby.
No, I let them go, so I don't remember them anymore. No, I think I had about three different things. There wasn't a lot. But yeah, other people's perceptions.
Which is a really ripe concept in Leo season.
I think I get more aware. People tell me about me around festival than any other time in my life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, stop telling me about myself.
Yeah.
I'm cool. Like, and there's like, oh, they think you don't like them, and oh, you must be so tired. Oh, you must be so busy. And I'm like, no, I'm managing my time well. No, I'm sleeping like a log. No, I don't hate them. I've not thought about them for 4 months. You know, I hear more and more opinions about myself, and I think it's because I'm in spotlight, very Leo.
Yeah.
So it's just like, Alex, just let all that shit go.
That's so crazy that you're comfortable. I mean, this makes sense, but like, isn't it wild that like you're quite comfortable and grounded in the spotlight and now everyone else is being weird about it? Like, what the fuck? Like, but I think that happens all the time where it's like this seesaw of like, I'm really wrapped up in my own insecurities, so I don't know what everyone else is thinking, or it's kind of, I don't know, I'm not really tuned in, and then all of a sudden you get like really confident and comfortable, and then your stability for some reason like breeds other people's comfort in reporting to you what they notice, which is really interesting. But actually, I feel like that's happened even in family structures, like even in think about like when you're doing really well, when life is really calm, people love to like notice a shift and like tell you about that shift and assume for better or worse what that is. And I feel like you're going through that, which really speaks to the Leo public
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Joyful
And I
time.
feel like you're on let me tell you about you. What an asshole.
At least.
Sunny. I feel like you are the way that I see you on social media is that you are more branded and whole than ever. Like you just everything that comes out, I'm like it just seems exactly it, which is awesome.
That's cool.
There's probably been times where I've seen more of you on social media and all of it was beautiful, but like this does seem really whole and really comfortable, and both of us have talked a lot about how we're quite comfortable on social
Mm.
media.
Yeah.
But I do think that Leo probably asks us to decide like, are we doing it because we just enjoy the warmth, the spotlight, and spreading the word? Do we enjoy it because we really love other people's attention and we're like aiming to like get that feedback, hopefully positive feedback? Like, there's quite a lot wrapped up in it. And then with our eclipse, it's like, are we doing it in a bright, shiny way, or are we like looking at the dark sides of some of those qualities?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we both get this all the time with our clients, isn't it? They don't want to show up due to fear of
Mm.
whatever it might be, fear of perception, fear of failure, fear of trolls, fear of, you know, there's so many things. It just be it showing up on social media, especially as yourself.
Mm.
It's really hard, isn't it, for some
Yeah.
people? Whereas
Yeah.
I feel comfortable because I think I'm just me and I know I've got good shit to share in the sense that everything that I do, I feel really grounded and I value it and I know that there is value there. I'm proud of what I've created.
Mm.
Um, I know it helps people. It feeds my soul too. So I find it very easy just to step onto the camera and be like, here you go. Here's me. Here's what I offer. I hope it helps. It's not for
Yeah.
you, bye. That's it for me, I think. Like, how do I assume because you show up on social media, you're there all the time and you seem comfortable, you seem yourself. How do you find it easy? Have you always found it easy?
I think I love a performance, but that doesn't
Dancer.
yeah, like the dance yeah, dance background like really makes me comfortable publicly. But I think that I come at social media even when I don't know myself very well, which from a business standpoint not always helpful, but from a consistent showing up way is helpful. So I think my and luckily I think my brand is super duper broad, so like though we have some offers we need to get a little tighter on this coming autumn and a little bit more
Same.
like direction is good. I don't mind when there's seasons that the social media or the brand kind of just like fluctuates more personally or more dancey or more yogi or more spiritual because I know that I can't do the one thing. Um, is there room for more specificity? Yes. And we'll probably be chatting with some of my pals who are also in the industry to like help clarify those things, especially for autumn. But like this summer, like I've done almost no push of my own brand. Like I'm just chilling and playing. And I think that if you come from a performing arts background, you're very used to having to practice in front of your friends and mess up in front of your friends. So therefore, as I don't care if I post weird shit because I see social media followers as literally my friends and friends of friends.
Love that.
So like there's a closeness, there's an intimacy. Like I don't really mind if it's imperfect. I know from a branding and business standpoint, even as someone who does social media for other people, I wouldn't recommend it. But I do allow my brand to be a personal brand sometimes. And I think it gives me the ease to be a bit weird. And actually, I think when I am feeling shy, I'll go like big shy, big outgoing, big shy, big outgoing, but it gives me more of a permission slip because that shy version of myself will sometimes wait until it's perfect. And that's not helpful to anyone. We need to at least just show up some way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot actually. And I haven't really posted that much in August. Like
Me neither.
not really
Especially
posted
not
much.
on Align with Alex. Obviously, the festival's taken over big time, but not with Align with
Yeah.
Alex. Hardly at all.
Yeah.
It just, energy. We've only got so much energy, and it's just been focused elsewhere, and that's no bad thing.
And actually, my energy's been focused a lot on clients who are showing up, which is really interesting.
That's
Sometimes,
really
like, you take that energy and you just give it to others to, like, push through. But it is, I think, both of us have clients, whether those are business clients or just one-to-one clients that we work with in other capacities that just need that, like, Leo confidence
yeah,
boost.
yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of fear. A lot of. I think that it's all a protection, isn't it? Obviously, we're keeping ourselves back from stepping into something that's opens us up to be vulnerable, which makes
Yeah.
sense. And then there's also all the horrible things that you could potentially think about someone who is showing up on social media, especially if they show their face all the time, like you and I do. It's like, oh, who does she think she is? Oh my God, she's such a show off. Oh my God, here she goes again. What shit is she chatting now? There's this potential for thinking of all the things that someone might then think about you. And it's like, they're probably not, but there's some inner monologue going on thinking, nope, you can't show up, you're just a show off. Nope, you can't show off. Who do you think you are?
Yeah, and it's important to remember that those who follow you or might follow you are choosing to follow and pay attention. Like, if someone really doesn't like you,
They'll
they don't
unfollow.
have to follow you.
No.
And if they are following you, you can get rid of them. Like,
Yes.
I remember from our first episode, we talked about how sometimes showing up on social media can feel like you're standing in the middle of your city center, like screaming. And you're like, oh my
Mm-hmm.
God, everyone's going to hear me screaming weird and loud and noisy. But actually, that's not true. It's more like you're standing in the corner of the park being like, hey, does anyone want to join me for like a chit chat? Like,
Yeah, but there's
it's,
about 1,000 other people around the edge of the park doing exactly the same thing. So
mm-hmm,
no one's going to hear you anyway,
yeah.
unless you show up every single day.
Yeah, and so it doesn't have to be this like big splash in the pond, though what you're doing is brave and splashy. Like what you're doing is actually just showing up and inviting people to listen.
Yeah.
It's not this scary debut that you think it is. It might just be a nice way to chat with your friends and friends of friends, however you
Yeah.
think of them. You're great with that on your walks in the morning.
Yeah, just chat shit. I always think that if you can share what you're passionate about, you'll never run out of things to talk about, which is why I can still talk about yoga. Well, the It's Probably Me podcast is on its fourth series,
Wow.
fifth series. I don't remember. I'm far in, and it's like still got plenty to say, guys. Still got plenty to say because I'm passionate about it. I love it. It interests me, and I could just talk about it forever, and that's cool. And then I think the moment you find something to talk about, that's what you share on your social media.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you can monetize it, great.
Great.
Yeah,
But
great.
maybe that's why podcasts are so fun, especially for us, because
Yeah.
think about back to like the first draft thing. Like, one, we get to show up, we have a focus, obviously, but we get to show up the way we want to show up spontaneously. It gets to be our first draft. We don't have to go revise it 1,000 times. We just get to like let it be what it'll be. And that feels very easy and authentic and
Yeah,
nice.
it really does.
I think you and
Whereas,
I are very predisposed
great
to be
word.
comfortable in this environment.
Yes, Yes, and we know that a lot of people aren't, and a lot of people would never do a podcast. We should probably circle back. You've just said we have a focus, and we've not really talked about it much.
Oh, I was just checking my phone.
So this is a Leo new moon that we've just had. Leo energy, as you've probably gathered from what we've been talking about so far, is very like big, bold. Think sunshine, think lion, think, it's center of attention, but not on purpose, I think is how you described it in draft one. And it's like they just kind of shine a little bit. They sparkle a little bit. They're just main character energy, is how I always think of a Leo.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's always around August time. It's great. It's the height of summer. It just feels good. It doesn't, yeah, Leo season is always like, I find energy comes with more ease in Leo season.
Yeah, I agree. And I
Yeah.
think that it's easier to just kind of be yourself in Leo season. Whether that's more energy, whether it's sleepy energy, whether it's doing vacations and enjoying family time, whether it's at home, whether it's taking breaks from work. If anything, I've been not very Leo by just not being on social media, but also very Leo for just being myself, which is really nice.
Showing up.
What house is your Leo in, Alex? Mine's in the
Well,
third house.
first and foremost, we've got to take it back to basics, my darling. So, new moon, which is what we just had. New moon is where you can't see the moon in the sky, it's like just black. And then it will slowly get bigger. We'll move through a crescent moon all the way up to full. So the idea is the energy is growing. So at new moon, maybe a few days before you want to start considering what you want to bring into fruition in the next couple of weeks, it's almost a manifesting energy. It's a planting seed energy, and you start something. But go small because it's on a 2-week cycle. So you can build it into something bigger. And then at full moon, when when the moon is biggest in the sky, that's where we start with thinking that burn off energy we need to release and get rid of, because after then the moon gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So this new moon, it's like, what do you want to bring in right now? What do you want to start considering? And with the eclipse, I would start considering some versions or some voices that you hold on to of yourself that kind of tinkering away in the background that are preventing you from being your true self.
Yeah, eclipses block, right? They get in front of, they get in the way. So what is the flip side? What is the getting in the way of? And I think that's really interesting when you're planting seeds, because really nothing can get in your way if you're starting at the beginning, but you get to be extra thoughtful about that, which is really interesting.
Yes. And then, obviously, Diana just said about Leo's in your third house, did you say?
Houses, yeah.
So the houses you will essentially get, if you ever get your birth chart done, I would find someone local that you can, piece of pie, someone local who can do a birth chart, give it a Google. I don't have any recommendations, but Diana, do you have any recommendations for people?
Not locally, but we can do some thinking, and if we get some, we should definitely start adding it to our descriptions and captions, because it would be really, really, really nice. I personally, if I had to give you a global recommendation or an online recommendation that you can find anywhere, the Chani app is female-owned, queer-owned, really transparent business practices, no AI. Everyone on the team has a really strong baseline for like salaries, and she's got podcast, app, website. It's just lovely, and it's a really nice way to just get what you need at your fingertips. Obviously, anything that's going to be app is not as specific as having someone read your chart for you, but it's a very accessible option.
Yes, 100%. So that's Chani, Chani, yeah?
Yeah, and you can see that birth chart, which will look like the pieces of a pie, and all of those pie pieces have houses in them.
There are 12.
There are 12 houses. They all have different vibes.
Yes. And I think as we go through them, we'll slowly but surely like tick the vibes of each house. But is it your first house is essentially, so this is what your rising sign. So your rising sign means the constellation of stars that was coming up and over the horizon as you were born. That is your rising sign. My rising sign is Libra. Yours is Gemini.
Gemini.
Yes. So bit of duality going on there, but we're both great. So then I think that's good. And then things around the first one are self-identity and appearance. Does yours give different descriptive words?
Yeah, say that's spot on. And also like what people like see you as in terms of appearance. So like it could be your physical attributes, but it could just be like if you were your most natural self, how do you come off right away? And it's also the most specific one. So a rising sign will change really quite frequently. A sun sign, maybe it takes a whole month, but your rising sign is very specific. You need your birth time. So when we talk about a chart, just so we all know, it's when you take a snapshot of the sky. So it's when you look up and these constellations are in certain parts of the sky, which then fall into certain parts of that pie. So everyone's got 1 through 12 pie slices, but where those constellations were when I was born versus when Alex was born will be in different places. And just as when we can look up at the sky at a new moon or a full moon or an eclipse, we can also go, oh, that's where everything is landing. Interesting.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So Leo will be in one of those houses. The constellation Leo will have been in one of those houses at the moment that we were born. So for you, what did you say? Third house?
Mine's in the third house, yeah.
Which is, from my definitions that I have in front of me, communication, thinking, and learning. I don't know what your...
Yeah, communication, daily rituals, and family, which is really interesting. I feel like I think about my communication as definitely being very Leo. Like, I like talking. I'm like,
No.
what? Two
What?
podcasts? What do you mean? And love doing public speaking. What are you talking about? But I'm very comfortable sharing my thoughts and ideas, not because I like want all of the attention, but it's very Leo to just be like, oh my God, I feel most excited. I feel most of service to others when I can think out loud and help other people like think too. But I think it's really interesting that third house is family related because, well, one, I think my family would say that I like talk a lot, which would be really interesting.
But do you naturally feel, maybe you don't feel, maybe you're perceived as the main character energy when you're in your family unit?
Yeah, perhaps. For better or worse, maybe.
I can imagine you almost,
Yeah.
you've got big sister, older
I
sister
am the
energy.
biggest sister. Yeah, I'm the
It would
oldest.
be like, I don't know about you, but it's like you walk in and you're like, right, let's manage this bunch of idiots. You know, that's none of them know what they're doing. Let me step into my big sister role.
Yeah, I can have like bossy vibe, but in the way that I'm like, let's just channel this, let's go away. And actually, I got a palm reading at Narich Yoga Festival, and that was the first thing she asked me. Are you a bit bossy?
No way.
Yeah, so that's really interesting.
What else? I got mine done last year and I freaking loved it. What else did she say that you want to share?
The bossy thing was interesting. Mentioned. Then I was like, oh yes, literally, she was wonderful. She talked at me for the whole 20 minutes. So like, it was very much a receiving. There was a little bit of chit chat, but I didn't need to stop and affirm her. She was just going, which was fantastic. So other things that came up was that I'm actually probably more introverted and need more time with myself than I might expect or other people might expect,
Which is what you
makes
said
sense.
so many times.
Yeah, like very duality. Like I'm all in or I'm all out. I'm like all ready to be in the spotlight and like swim in the sea, or I need to like burrow and be more introverted and recharge. And I haven't always given myself the opportunity to do that. And I think that's when the spotlight starts to burn a little too hot and I go a little bit weird. Maybe not with others, but like I feel weird. Like it's
I need
just
to take
too
myself
much.
away.
Yeah, and I forget to do that. So I think it's really interesting. So yeah, I've never had a palm reading before, and it was interesting to watch astrology, like how I appear to others on first glance, bit chatty, communicating, very Gemini. Are you a little bossy?
I love her. So Michelle, Phoenix Therapies, I want to say her name is.
I think so.
If you go to Norwich Yoga Festival / Marketplace, she is on there, Michelle Palm Reading. So go find her because she's just a wonderful soul. And she doesn't believe in what she does. Oh, she does believe in what she does. She doesn't believe that she's capable to share it. She gets so in her head about it, but she's freaking great. And then when she does it, you're like, you're incredible. Like, what the hell?
And very philosophical, like
Incredibly.
gentle suggestion. She's not, I feel this way about psychic mediumship as well. And I know they're not exactly the same, but like you're trying to bring to light what you see in someone else so they have clarity and guidance rather than, we're not fortune telling.
No. No. So I'm training to be a therapist, and I had mine done last year. I didn't do it this year because I was like, I feel like it's too close. Okay. So I had mine done at the Norwich Yoga Festival last year. Put my hands down, and I am at this point halfway through my second year of training to be a therapist. And she looks at both hands, and then she goes, "You make a good therapist." I was like, if she says nothing else, I'm sold.
affirming.
I know.
Oh.
It was incredible. It was, and everything was just so spot on. At the time, I was going through all sorts of stuff with my family, and she got that right. Like, it was unreal.
I
Unreal.
didn't know that also like the lines change on your hands.
Yeah.
That's so fascinating to me. And there was one that was like a little bit like wounded, dipping towards like actually like family, not family wounds, but like I was really leaning on others in ways that maybe wasn't super duper aligned. But she goes, I bet that line is decreasing. I bet if I had seen you 2 or 3 years ago, like you've really come into yourself. You're like more comfortable riding solo. You're like more confident with yourself. You don't like lean on others for like self-worth. And I wish I would have seen my hand.
Yeah. The around this area under your index finger, have you got two lines that cross some sort
I've
of
got an
cross?
X.
Yeah, me too. Apparently that's witchy.
Oh yeah.
It's like yes.
I've got a bunch on the sand. Yeah, it's so interesting.
We've gone off track again.
Oh yes, what house is your Leo in?
Essentially, the moral of this podcast is go and get your palms read. We cannot vouch for any other palm readers. So
I don't know
my
any of them.
Leo is in the 11th house, which is friends, goals, and networks. Warm, expressive social energy, loyal, proud friendships, desire to be recognized in groups or community, leadership potential in social settings, creative group involvement. You shine most when appreciated socially, but just to tell you, I might be appreciated when socially, whatever that just said, but I do not want perceptions of me.
This is so interesting because if you had told me that was where mine was, I would have been like, yes.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. And I think that makes total sense for you.
Does it?
Yeah.
I feel like there's some shadow stuff going on there because
so?
I think this is where I struggle with that, with the festival. Because people will come up to me and be like, "Oh my God, it was amazing!" With retreats in the past, like anytime I do something cool, I'm like, "Oh, don't worry about the well dones." It's like, "Cool, just go have a good time. I've done this for you."
Do you feel like you need to accept more easily?
I don't need it, but I think it's like I've created this thing, festival, let's go. I've created the festival because I want everyone to go and experience all the wonderful wellness in Norfolk and Suffolk and blah, 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 blah. Like, it's something that I'm so happy to share. I don't need the recognition for it. But reading this, I wonder if there's some part of me that's like, ew, you're not allowed to receive compliments, or ew, you can't take pride in the hard work. You know, you've just got to brush it under the carpet. So I wonder if that's more shadow work that I need to do.
I mean, it's eclipse season for a reason. Talk about shadowy. Like, it's a perfect time. And it's like so close to Nart Yoga Festival. All this stuff.
So yeah, it's interesting. So just a quick definition of shadow stuff, shadow self. So when you're young, like from pre-verbal, you are essentially, you learn from your primary caregivers what is acceptable and what makes you feel loved, and then what is rejected and what isn't. The things that aren't acceptable or make you feel rejected or unloved, essentially you put in a box and you're like, no. So if even later in life, if you're told over and over and over again, don't be loud, don't be brash, don't be big-headed, don't, celebrate your wins, don't do this stuff, you put all of that stuff in a box, that becomes your shadow stuff, and you bury it. It's parts of you that you reject because the people around you have rejected them. And then you also reject them in others. So when you do see someone being loud and brash or celebrating their wins or being like, oh my God, yay, I did this amazing thing, you as a person would reject it as well. So it's acknowledging and uncovering your shadow self allows you to reveal more of your true self rather than keeping it buried in a box. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Good.
Do you remember our first reading together?
Wait, I remember the one where we talked about me as a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
That one?
Do you remember playing dress up?
Yeah.
Obviously, we can cut this if you don't want to share it.
I feel okay about it so far.
Okay. I feel like that particular message on that particular time we did a Reiki and a reading. I like.
Wait, by the way, book in for her when she doesn't.
We're listening for September. Get in. I remember the vision and the message was like, I just see you like playing dress up and like shoes that are too big and feeling silly and happy and it wasn't like then all of a sudden you didn't anymore, but it was like that's like a you that I feel like wants to play more. And I feel like regardless of the praise, but like that like playful, I want to be this version of myself. I want to be a princess, or I want to be a movie star, or I want to be whatever, dress up. Like dress up is such like a game of performance for both yourself and the people around you. Like that feels really exciting. And it just came to my mind as we're thinking about like the shadow work. Like maybe it's okay to be seen and dress up as who you want to be quite boldly.
Yeah. I would quite like to be a princess. If anyone knows any, ways that I can get into that, I think I'd be down for it.
Anyone know any princes?
Anyone know any princess?
I'll take like a duke.
I will move different countries.
Okay, noted.
No, manifesting. It's new moon. Guys, we've gone over time.
We've gone over time. So we're going to think about what Leo means to us, the qualities of being bold and bright and stepping into the spotlight easily, not because you're demanding it, but because you are brightness yourself. Very solar plexus, Manipura, very solar plexus chakra. And then we want to also think about what's the flip side. Do I have any wounds or maybe shadow work around there? How does that make me feel when I'm really like myself, or when I watch other people really bold and bright like themselves? What does that bring up for us?
If that's too challenging, you can focus on maybe journaling is quite a good one. Talking to yourself, also maybe leave yourself a voice note. Definitely safe, and I would somewhere safe, and I would probably do it either with a therapist or on your own, but talk about or journal about the parts of you that are rejecting parts of you. So it's like, why don't we want to? So if I was to flip that on myself, why don't I want to like accept that, well done, Alex, you did a great job of the yoga festival this year? Why is that? Why am I like, nah, it's fine? Why am I pushing it away? So it's like, why do I want to reject that? Because there's different parts going on there, and it's a softer way in, I always think.
I like that. Good luck, everyone. It's a big one.
Yeah, good luck. Full moon next, in the best
Here we
one.
go.
Peace out.
See you guys there.